Hey everybody, welcome back to part 3 of my crystal collection carvings. So first one was my 3.5 inch and smaller crystal skulls and star beings. Video 2 was my 4 inch and larger crystal skulls. And this one is going to be anything that I have that is carved, whether it's carved into a goddess, a creature, a plant, whatever. These are all my little carvings that I have that I've kept and that are kicking around. So we're going to start right in. And I am going to grab, let's start with this wonderful little collection I have here. So this is a beautiful little piece of pottery that I picked up at a local pottery place. And it holds this beautiful little flower agate moon that my nieces and me, we all have like a flower agate moon that all matches. So we all have a little moon with each other. And then this is my platonic solid set. So anybody who doesn't know what a platonic solid set is, this is for bringing in and working with geometric shapes as well as elements. You can meditate with these. You can set them up on your altar if there's a specific energy or frequency or whatever you want to bring in. They are carved out of sodalite. One of my most favorite stones is sodalite. I'm a big sodalite person. It's honestly one of my most favorite stones besides labradorite and amethyst and ocean jasper and moss agate and quartz. Like really, I can just keep going, right? So, but I have a big soft spot for sodalite. Sodalite's kind of my weakness. But yeah, so this is a platonic solid set. And like I said, you can meditate on these individually, all together, whatever you want to do. But yeah, so they're all the different elements. So I have these. These are all my little carved ones, and I just keep them in this little bowl because my cats will literally smash these and then they'll be gone and I'll never see them again because they are very small. They're very teeny tiny. They're not huge. I'm going to say they're like 1/2 inch big. They're very tiny. So yeah, so that's the first thing I'm showing. It's a platonic solid, my platonic solid set. That was really hard to get out. All right, and so while we're talking about sodalite, I'm going to show you my next piece of sodalite. So this was one of my very first carvings that I got. It is a beautiful triple grade A sodalite snake. The name of this one is Hiss. She was like very clear. Her name was Hiss, which is kind of obvious, right? But like not at the same time. An amazing grid carving done on this. She has a very pleasant, nice face. Not scary, not nothing, just right. The way I like my snakes to look. I don't like when they look too like friendly and like silly, but at the same time, I don't want them to look scary. So perfect carving for me, and just absolutely stunning sodalite. She sits on my altar and is very much a part of my practice. And I love this piece. It's just a phenomenal piece. It's one of my favorites that I have, that I own. So yeah, that's his. Speaking about bringing in animal energy, another piece that sits on my altar is this beautiful petrified wood bear. It's got druzy sparkles in it. I don't know if it's going to show. Oh, it's not showing. It's sparkly. There's sparkles here. Yeah, it's not, oh, you can barely catch it. Sparkly all over the place. But it's an amazing, gorgeous piece. Oh, she's got a big sparkly band here and a gorgeous piece of petrified wood. I'm a big fan of petrified wood. Absolutely love it. So when I saw this one, I grabbed it, had to have it. This is so when I do journeying and I meditate and I go into like animal energy or like any type of shaman stuff, I always turn into a bear. So like a beautiful brown bear, like a brown bear. I don't know if it's a grizzly, a Kodiak. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to say probably more grizzly in a way. But beautiful, a big, beautiful brown bear. And so this sits on my altar and is definitely part of my work as well with Hiss. So I have my three animal elements up there. So I've got my snake and I've got my bear, and this is Kuma. And it's the name that it gave me. It's absolutely beautiful piece of petrified wood. Just gorgeous. Love it. It's one of my favorite pieces. And then the other animal element that I have on my altar is this gorgeous bird skull, raven skull. I don't know if it's a raven skull, if it's just a bird skull. Ocean jasper with this gorgeous sparkly vein. And it's not picking it up, but it looks like somebody took a marker and just drew a pure sparkle line, and it goes all the way through this whole like piece. It's so interesting. But yeah, it's got one sparkly vein. But this is Avery, and this is my other animal energy element that sits on my altar and is always part of my practice. So I've got my skull of my bird, I've got my snake energy, and I've got my bear. So these all sit on my altar in their own little spots. They all have their own little places and positions and spots, and they're really quite beautiful. Very different energy altogether, but yet the same, very united. So yeah, I really enjoy working with them very much. Very strong elements. I like working with animal element, animal energy and elements when I'm able to. All right, so the next one I have here, this is the only dragon that I have. And this is like a blue, I was told it's like a blue opalite, or a blue opal, sorry, not opalite, blue opal. You can see it's kind of blue, but this is a very low grade piece. Very possible. It didn't matter to me. I think it's gorgeous. I really like the way that it's carved. I like the color of it. I like everything about it. It's a little one. Oops, sorry, dropped you. It's only maybe about 2 inch, right? Hand carved though, looks nice. I like that it has its 3 little horn things. Very beautiful. But like I said, it's the only dragon I have. I've been drawn to dragons in the past. However, I have never purchased a very large, elaborate dragon's head. I felt that bringing in this small energy was perfect. Its name, it gave it to me a long time ago, and right now it has completely skipped my mind. And if I remember, I'll let you know. But right now, I don't remember. But I do know it's given me a name before, so I'll have to think about it, and I'll let you know if I remember. All right, so this is my goddess piece. Once again, beautiful, beautiful ocean jasper. And it's the pink ocean jasper, which you commonly don't see. And I love that it has like that orange, it's kind of like an orangey tanny tone going on the back of it. And then right up here, we have a little bit of the purple and going into the white and then into the pink. Very beautiful carving. We've got the moon cycle, and she has her little basket that you can put a little offering in. So she sits up in my altar space as well too. Absolutely gorgeous carving. Sorry, off camera a little bit. Absolutely gorgeous carving. I really like this piece. I ended up getting it from this little tiny store, and there was a little bit of a situation around it, but nothing crazy. But I ended up with the right piece, and this meant a lot to me, and it's absolutely wonderful. And I've been looking for a long time for a piece of pink ocean jasper, and so I was really happy when I found this. The pink is very pink. It's not picking up in the camera. It's very rose quartz colored pink with speckles of like purple and white in it. And it's just kind of not really picking up correctly. And this is very, very purple, which once again is looking kind of gray. But it's a very beautiful purple. So yeah, I don't know. I love it. I love the feeling of ocean jasper. Ocean jasper has such a unique feeling to it. Very like porcelain almost feeling. But yeah, once in a while I'll put little offerings in to the little bowl and the little basket that she's holding. And it's quite like it's quite large, and that's the reason why I purchased it, because it's a quite a large goddess piece. Usually crystal carvings are very small. She was an amazing price for the size that she is. So I made sure I snagged that one up 100%. Okay, and then we'll go to my biggest carving that I have, and that is a great big huge snake. Moss agate snake. It's a cobra snake. It is coiled, carved, very beautiful. Not really any druzy on it. The only little sparkle is down here at the bottom, of course. A lot of like little caves and stuff, but not like this should be druzy, but it's not. It's very flat. There's a little bit of druzy right here on this spine. Um, Once again, gorgeously carved with like this checker pattern all over. There's a little bit of druzy right here. Like just absolutely phenomenal, beautiful. A little bit of a friendly face for me. Kind of like almost has, I guess that's just kind of a neutral face. It's not anything in particular, which is nice. It's not too detailed, but it's not very vague either. Like it's very minimal, which works for me. I like it. So yeah, this is my big, huge snake piece. He's like right in the camera. He's very big. Um, no name for it. I never got a name from it. Um, Not the one that I can remember. It sits in my main, like in my main area up on one of my other altar areas that I have, and just kind of hangs out there and holds space. So yeah, quite an amazing piece. Beautiful moss agate, almost kind of to me, almost on the side of tree agate, but when I purchased it, I was told it was moss agate. So that's kind of what I stick with, but I do feel that it kind of is leaning towards tree agate, but who knows? So yeah, it's my great big huge snake carving, moss agate snake carving. All right, so that's pretty much all the animals that I have, or goddesses, or different things like that. I do have another goddess. It's one of the little tiny ones that have kind of like the pointed, it's kind of pointed. It's way over there. And I do obviously have peens or like the phallic carvings, but I'm not bringing those in because, like I said, I don't want to have to give this like an adult rating. So I'm not showing those, but I do have a couple different ones of those. Now we're going to look at my mushies. So these are my mushrooms. I don't have tons. I only have three, but I'm really quite content with my three. This I'm pretty sure is ocean jasper. I believe that's, yeah, it's not polychrome. This is ocean jasper. So this is my ocean jasper piece. Very interesting colors of ocean jasper. I haven't really seen this color very much. It's very tan with the black lines. It's very interesting. And then these pops of like almost these fiery colors, right? So very beautiful mushroom. Yeah, really like it. It's quite beautiful. And then my next one is a cinnabar. So this is a cinnabar mushroom. Just a little one. Super cute. I say it's about 2 inches. The only piece of cinnabar that I have. At least that's what I was told when I purchased it, what it was. Some of these, sometimes I question it and I'm just kind of like, I don't know if that's what you are. But who knows, right? Because they can come from different areas of the world and have different veining and look different, right? So this is my agate mushroom with gorgeous lines. A little bit of sparkly druzy up here in the top, but very beautiful mushroom. I love the agate rings. Like, it's very detailed, but the camera's just not picking it up because my camera's not good enough. But there's a lot of beautiful, your agate rings happening in here. And they looks like waves. And I love how it's just like sparkly little cave that goes into like this like wave coming down the front of it. And this has got a little bit of sparkle in it too. So really quite a beautiful piece. A large mushroom, I'm going to say this is probably at least 3.5 inches tall. And just a beautiful piece of white agate. Almost very like Botswana agate, similar in a way, I'm going to say. But yeah. All right, my next carving is my hamsha. Hamsha. I don't know, there's a bunch of different ways that you can say it. I say hamsha. So this is rainforest jasper and a beautiful piece of rainforest jasper. Really nice clear spots, like that are crystal clear. They're really interesting. They're like little windows. They're really cool. But yeah, so this is rainforest jasper. I really like it. It's carved very well. Great detail. I kind of wish this eye was more centered. Like, I mean, it kind of is, but this is very distracting. And I think they were meaning it to be like a reflection, right? Because this is the actual like eye here. It's carved, but then they went and put like this like different circle up at the top, which I think, like I said, is just supposed to be the reflection, but I find it very distracting. There's something about it that really stands out against the rest of the carving. So I don't know, catches my eye all the time. But great little hamsha. I like putting it in photos. You've probably seen it in videos and photos and stuff like that. I use this one fair amount, not too often, but enough, because it's just that perfect size to sit off camera and sit in a corner somewhere. And it looks really cool. So yeah, it's my Rain Jasper hamsha. And then last but not least, because I said in my first video that I would show you, this is an Orthoceras. So Orthoceras is fossilized squid. So this right here is it. This is just its matrix that it's in. So the matrix is like just the material that it's in. So this is wherever, it came from. It's just where it's holding it at. So it's like fossilized mud or stone or rock or whatever that's holding it. But this is an Orthoceras. It's a fossilized squid. They're really awesome to work with. I really like meditating with this. These existed in the ocean during a very, very early stage of Earth. So when man wasn't even on the planet. So it comes from a very ancient, clean water source. So it's really cool to tap into that energy and to work with it during meditation. Excellent water element to bring in if you want to work with water. So yeah, it's got a little bit of sparkles going on in it. Not a whole heck of a lot, but there's a little bit of sparkle in there. And this is my piece that I had. I ended up getting from British Columbia. And it's wonderful. I do have a couple different ones that are in the shop. And I'm going to go grab it because I want to show you the difference. And it just comes down to where it came from. Okay, so this is one that comes from the shop. This one's for sale. I'm selling this one. This one's $18. It's on the shop. So it's very different, right? Like you can see the media is, dark behind it, whereas this one's a single piece. I feel like it's dark because it's probably quite a few pieces of the squid piled up on top of other squids, which I kind of feel is what we're seeing. But it's also not carved out, where this one's actually carved out. and like sticks up off of the stone, right? So those are like, and you can even tell by looking at it, like it's very different, right? So I'm going to say these might even come down to like possible different species, because if you look at the rings with the veining, this might even be a younger one and this might be an older one. I'm not really entirely sure, but they definitely do come from different areas. This was harvested from BC, where I got it from. This one, I do not know where this one came in from. I'd have to look at my records to see exactly where it said that it came from. But those are your different types of Orthoceras. This one's a little bit more attractive because it's like your black and your grays, where this one has more of like your muddy brown tones around it. But I do like how this one is actually like carved out, where this one is very much just like they didn't carve it out, right? So they just like went round and they probably cut like the top half of this off. And that might be why we're seeing this veining too. Like that might be a little spine. And, you know, obviously this. So that's probably all they did is they just shaved it. So it's probably the same species, right? But yeah, so that's Orthoceras. Wonderful, wonderful ancient water energy to tap into during meditation and your connection work if you want to get that type of element in. It's amazing. So those are pretty much my carvings that I have. I don't really bring in a lot of carvings. I actually find carvings to sometimes be a little juvenile. So if the ones that I have for very specific reasons and purposes. So they are why I have them. I do remember her name. Her name is Aria. And I was going to say that, but I was like, I don't know if I was right. But I remembered, and it's Aria. So where this is Avery and this is Aria. Um, because I said Avery and I was like, oh my God, maybe I said the wrong name, but I know her name's Avery. And then I was like, well, this one, Aria, I don't know. It was a weird moment, but it's Aria. Her name is Aria. So yeah, these are my little carvings that I have. Like I said, I don't have a whole heck of a lot, but I do have a few. The ones that I have are very, you know, I purchased really nice pieces. And like I said, they have very specific purposes in my practice. So most of them sit on my altars and in altar spaces and bring in that energy that I'm asking for or needing. So that's kind of where I go with those. This one sits kind of in a main area of my home where a lot of customers pass to go back and forth and just kind of hang out in that spot, as well as close to where I do my video filming at and stuff. So it's usually really quite close by as well too. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, like, subscribe, all that wonderful stuff. And like I always say, I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a nice week, and I'll talk to you guys soon.